Hey friends, today's conversation, what is keeping you up at night? Welcome back, Leann Wolff, your human design professional and your BG5 business and career consultant. Today's conversation, I'm going to take you down a little bit of a path here. So I want to ask, do you remember seeing this Maslow's hierarchy of needs as you were being educated? If so, I'm just going to, review it a little bit. So what was told to us here is that physiologically, we have to have food, water, sex, sleep. We have to have safety and security. So employment, resources, health, and property. Then we have to have this sense of belonging. So it's important for us to have friendships, family, sexual intimacy, and then this self-esteem can happen. So we have confidence, we're achieving things, we have respect for ourselves and others, and we have this prestige. And then if we really do all of those things well, we can get to this place of self-actualization. There's creativity, there's achieving one's full potential. So I just want you to breathe into that. Do you remember that pyramid? And if you do, I just want you to breathe for one moment. I'm going to show you something really interesting, okay? So what if in the human design realm, in our reality, in the actualness of who we are, what if this was actually how we are designed to be on this planet? So instead of climbing up the mountain, clawing our way to the top of this pyramid, what if we could invert this? And it's actually a funnel. So what if we were actually taught incorrectly? What if we were taught this inverted? So why do I say that? Now, you guys have been on this channel, you know about human design. Hopefully you are implementing it day in and day out in your lives. And that implementation is all about self-actualization. And what is self-actualization? Well, it is holding true to the frequency of your design, making decisions based off of that inner authority, making decisions based off of the correctness of who you are. That's how we're designed to make decisions, okay? But what that decision making does is it aligns us to that vibratory frequency that's within us. Okay. And once we can be inside and be that, let our cellular structure absolutely vibrate at that frequency, we can come to this place of major awareness, self-actualization. And that is what the cross of the sleeping phoenix, that's where it's moving us to. It's moving us into this integrated vibratory frequency and moving us towards this self-actualization. So what if we were taught wrong? What if it would be really simple for us to hold that frequency and then allow everything to funnel to us instead of climbing up the pyramid, forcing ourselves to, try to have all the humanness before we actually touch self-actualization? For me, it's got to be the opposite. We were and are infinitely this energy field. Energy cannot be destroyed or created. It's infinite. It's this transmutation. It's the law of transmutation. It's in and out of form all the time. We're never going to not have this energy field. So what if we could hold self-actualization, hold that frequency, and allow for everything to funnel to us? And when I look at this, I know for sure that's exactly what human design does for us. So right here, this is Ra's image, right? This is Ra's image back here. of peeking our head outside of the matrix, recognizing that most of what we've been taught in the cross of planning, for sure, because the cross of planning right now, as we move through, the next few years, 6 years for sure, and the last 407 years, we're topping this off as a delusionary energy. Why? Because 16.1 is all about delusion. And the 16, which is in the cross of planning, it moves from propaganda to delusion. So what Ra really said was that we actually have to break out of this matrix in order to have this self-actualization and everything to funnel to us. But what's important is that we hold our own frequency, that we really, really trust that frequency. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of steps to get there, because that delusionary, that propaganda that has been placed inside of our subconscious mind has really, really held us back. It's called conditioning. I call it convincing. It's convinced us that we have to climb up that pyramid versus actually standing at the bottom of the funnel and letting it funnel to us. So the best way to attract prosperity is to abandon your pursuit of wealth and allow it to flow to you, okay? So, yep, you've heard me talk a lot about my purpose-driven wealth formula, the program that I created based off of human design, and then using that whole structure to build your own business and allow for funds and clients and wealth to funnel to you so that there isn't any struggle to it. Shouldn't say isn't any struggle. How do I want to word this? The challenges are not as great because you're not battling uphill. You are allowing it to funnel. And the challenges that you face are actually built right into your design, so that there is no there's no scars left. You can actually let it all flow through you. Okay? So here's something that's so important. What is keeping you up at night? Grab your journal. Begin to take a look at this. What is keeping you up at night? Okay? And I want you to really grasp that you're going to be amazed at how much time you actually have in your life if you never have to think about money, if you never have to think about food, if you never have to think about resources, if you never have to think about, do I belong, do I not belong? So all the fears that are built into the human design system, on the other side is awareness. You guys have heard me say this numerous times. Those fears you do not need to get rid of those fears. What's important is that you recognize the fear, what's coming up, so that you can move through to the other side of awareness. And that is self-actualization. That awareness allows for the funneling to happen of all the prosperity that you deserve. Okay? So grab your journal and write out what keeps you up at night. What are the major problems in your world? What are the major problems in your world? Are you having a hard time making ends meet? Are you having a hard time attracting clients? Are you having a hard time with your children, your spouse? What are the things that keep you awake? Because first we got to really recognize what is the challenge? What's the struggle? So that we can then move forward with that and invert the situation, so that while you're holding self-actualization, all of those pieces of the puzzle begin to sort themselves out, because your vibration absolutely helps you do that. Okay? So what you're going to hear me talk about next week is imagination. Okay. And I'm going to get into it next week. I'm going to show you the visualization of it through the lens of human design. So this week, take a look at what the problem is. What is it? Are you short on cash each month? Are you short on clients? What is going on over there? Okay. Now, I also want you to play with this. Begin to imagine what it is that you truly want. What is it that you truly want? And I'm going to talk about imagination a lot next week. So imagine yourself in a space where none of the needs, okay, so that it isn't this, okay? Imagine yourself in this space where you are self-actualized, where you're fully aware, where you're sitting in it, okay? And that everything's funneling to you. Imagine yourself in that space. What are you imagining? So this week's homework, do both aspects, okay? Where are you struggling? And what do you imagine yourself? Where do you imagine yourself? So take both of those aspects, okay? Because I'm going to go into imagination so that you can really grasp it next week. So in the meantime, this week, play around with this and have fun. Don't make it too serious. Always enjoy the process. Bring in joy, bring in curiosity, bring in those aspects so that this doesn't feel like work, so that it feels like there's some play inside the cellular structure, okay? Because your frequency, my friend, your frequency is perfect. I'm going to leave you with this, okay? Repeat this often this week. My spiritual DNA is perfect. It is all-knowing. It is all-powerful. It is ever-present. And it is the real me. Your spiritual DNA is your human design body graph and the frequency that's inside of that. It is perfect. You don't need to fix any of it. What is important is that we begin to recognize and begin to break out of the matrix, okay? We begin to break out of that matrix where that convincing and conditioned mind has us held into this reality that has been inverted, okay? The challenges, the struggles, the uphill battles do not need to be present. They can funnel, everything can funnel through us and to us based on our vibration. Okay, have fun this week. Share in the comments. If this video has touched you, share it. And I'm also going to continue to throw out there, if you want to be a part of this, if you want support to move your life to the highest level possible, that's what I get to do. Jump into the purpose-driven wealth formula and let's do this for you. Okay? Let's make your imagined self your reality, because you do not have to be locked into this matrix, my friend. You do not. All right. Have fun.